What is up, y'all? I'm so glad that we finally got the stream started up. My apologies on that. My computer basically started to go crazy and I had to restart right as the intros were being played out. So if you notice anything weird in the stream, that's why. But we are back and we are good to go. So this is the only Bazaar here. And with me in the commentary booth is Timbers Army's very own Rydog.
Yeah, hi everybody. Yeah, thanks for sticking with us for the technical difficulties. We got it figured out. But Maz, you and I were talking right before the stream started, and this is gonna be a banger series.
Dude, absolutely. I really cannot wait for this. I mean, unfortunately, there's nothing really to play for both sides in the grand scheme of things outside of seeding. Because if you guys were around yesterday, we did take a look at the league table before the stream ended. And before we, go into this particular matchup, Rydog, congratulations on making it into the playoffs. You guys beat Los Verdes 3-0, and that allowed you guys to make it into the playoffs and capture that 6th spot. So congrats.
Thank you. Yeah, it felt good, and we were in control of our own destiny, which was obviously super important, and not having to rely on other teams. So yeah, getting that win last night was really good, and we now have our 6 teams in the SGL playoffs.
Heck yeah, absolutely. And the 6 teams, we won't be able to show the league table and stuff right now because we're very close to kickoff. But we'll mention the 6 teams right now. The 6 teams are the Locals and Black Army, as you can see right here. They're having a matchup against each other. And Emerald City RC, El Matador, the Rebellion, and of course Timbers Army. So, these are the 6 teams that have made the playoffs. Congratulations to them. Commiserations to KC Cauldron, yes, a huge surprise, but they're not in the playoffs. Steel Army, Emerald City Blue, Los Verdes, and Emerald City Defiance.
Yeah, those are the 6 top teams in the league, and yeah, I feel like we have 6 of the best teams in the league being represented in the playoffs this season. So we'll see how that plays out, but we're gonna get this game kicked off underway here pretty shortly. And I did want to mention we have another visitor here in the commentary booth. I shouldn't say visitor. He's one of our own. Mr. Corndog is here tonight. We've got a double dog commentary. If Corndog's here, Corndog, are you here? Hello.
Yes.
Talk to me.
Yeah, Lilu Dallas multipass, man. I'm here.
There we go. There we go. So we got double dog commentary.
And on that note, I'm going to step away right off. Corndog, y'all take care from here.
Let's do it. Let's do it. Maz, separately, can you send me the what is that called? Lobby info, unless it's the same, but that works. Corndog, how we doing tonight? How we feeling about this match coming up?
I'm doing all right. Locals and Black Army. I mean, Locals at the top of the table. They are definitely the favorite, but Black Army looking to make a stink, looking to take some points away. And I know ECRC is probably rooting for Black Army here, so should be an interesting match. I'm just hoping for not a blowout. Just not a blowout. It can be a sweep. Just make them close, boys. Come on.
I like that. I like that prediction. Do you have a favorite in this match that you would say?
Well, the analyst in me wants to take the locals just because they're at the top of the board. They deserve to be there. And then the ECRC fan in me is really leaning Black Army here. So it's kind of a coin toss in my mind. If I'm going to put $1 on it, I'm putting my dollar on the locals.
Fair enough, fair enough. Yeah, I think I had locals in my prediction as well, but I have them in 5s because I think this is really a toss-up in the grand scheme of things, right? You mentioned it, Corn Dog. We got the 1 seed on locals who have just been steamrolling by seemingly everybody. Of course, they only have 1 loss on the season, and then of course Black Army on the other side, which is they're in the 3 seed, and they're just right on their heels too. Is that top 3, 4, 5 spots are really close at the end of the day. So. Yeah, we have a banger match for you tonight. Corn Dog, do you have maybe some keys for both teams, being this is such a high-powered matchup?
Yeah, I mean, I hate to take from Guy Giverson's playbook here, but you're going to need to prevent the ball from going into your net just as much as going forward. You've got big names in here. You've got Meki Ducky. You've got Vexamed, Martez, Aquatic. I mean, I'm not going to list everybody, but you've got some people that are capable of making things happen. But if you're getting scored on constantly, doesn't matter really how much you score. So I'm going to say, if I boil it down to one word, it's going to be defense for both sides.
Very good. Yes, thank you, Corn Dog. And, of course, thanks to Guy Giverson for the inspiration because, yeah, that man knows what he's talking about. But here we go, Corn Dog. We've got 6 players on the field. We've got the countdown started, and game 1 of this best of 5 series. Here we go.
Oh, Jesus.
You see Meki Ducky here in the Batmobile. We love to see the difference in cars throughout SGL. Of course, there are some teams that are more known for it than others. Of course, ECRC being one of them, with Damas GT and Masamune and all that sort of stuff. And of course we see a Batmobile here, and we see, I think somebody's in the Skyline. I think that's Aquatic in the Skyline. So love to see the different cars and not just some Octanes and Fenix. We see a Dominus too from Vexamed, which I feel like is losing its popularity maybe slightly, but love to see that.
Yeah, and it's all about the hitboxes, but it's also all about the style, having that little personal flair standing out a little bit is always a good thing, in my opinion. Coming from a guy who only plays Octane and Takumi, so.
Yeah, that's right. And you look really good when you're using that Takumi. I will say that. But nothing on the board first in the first minute of action, as both teams are just kind of feeling each other out a little bit, seeing what's going on, and that's typically, I think, what I'd expect from both these teams. As we see Vexamed going up, can he get the what a save from Mr. Mechanical Duck himself, Meki Ducky? But I think that's what I'd expect from both teams, kind of starting out is hey, just feeling each other out, see what the other team's giving you, and then go from there.
Yeah, and there's been big opportunities so far both directions. I would say it's leaning a little more towards the locals' favor. The ball has been in Black Army's defensive half a little bit more often, but they've been firing back and getting those big balls back on net, and you gotta take what you can get, and Black Army seems to be doing that without overextending. Defense is solid on both sides here as a demo comes through from Kato, causing a little bit of chaos in the backfield.
Dr. Aquatic's gonna put this on target. Martez with the clear. And yeah, you gotta be scared of Doughboy and that stupid horse engine that he apparently loves and nobody else does. So props for being unique, Doughboy, but we don't like your engine. Please change.
It's identifiable.
I know, but I think I say that every stream that I cast from locals is just please change your engine sound for all of SGL. But nonetheless, Vexamed, I will say, highlighting some of Black Army, he's looked warmed up. He's had a few chances, as that one's going to go wide from Dr. Aquatic, but he's looked really good so far. Some solo plays, of course, forced that really sick save out of Mr. Mechanical Duck, so we'll see how he fares the rest of the way in the Dominus. But yeah, it's been pretty even so far.
Yeah, and I missed it calling it out, but Martez had a big stop on a ball lane, pops that one up center there for Kill. How the hell do you Killa Zappo? There we go. His name is moving. It's hard to read. not able to commit to it. As Martez again goes for a big stop and doesn't get it, Mecky Ducky shut down. This has been a great battle back and forth. It's like you said, it's pretty even. I do still see it favoring the locals though, as they're able to keep it in the offensive half a little bit more and keep that pressure on, but defense both directions good, as another demo attempt is missed and a good ball out.
Yeah, I think if Doughboy connects on that demo, that's a goal for locals. But again, Black Army just surviving and really taking your keys to heart, Corndog. Corndog said defense, defense, defense at the start of this series, and Black Army definitely looking to do that.
Yeah, you've got offensive striking power on both sides of the field, so in my book, defense has to come first as Mecky Ducky stops that tight shot from the wall there. Killa tries to keep it in the offensive zone, but good attacks both directions here, and a return bump. Physical play coming back out from Black Army here against the locals, and now it's their turn.
Yeah, it's been just a small flurry of offense from Black Army. It shows some life, which is of course really good for them as the series goes on. But of course, yeah, both teams nothing to show for it on the one of the most important stats in the game, if not the most important stat in the game, which is in fact goals. So as Killa Zappo is going to get this one over, and Mecky Ducky with a great save to keep that one out. Martez is going to play Vexamed. Can he get the double? He cannot, as Black Army do have an extended attack, but nobody's going to be there to follow up as Mecky Ducky's going to get this clear. And you see Doughboy again going for those demos. It's going to be Vexamed up. What an angle double, and Black Army are going to take the lead with 18 seconds left.
Sharp angle double there. Vexamed reconnects with that one and sneaks it past the defender. Martez taking credit for the assist. What a play for Black Army here. Big with 18 seconds to go. And I'd like to point out, Maz mentioned in the chat, both teams are passing the ball well so far. I have to agree with that. Not a lot of ping pong here. A little bit, but connected passes from both sides has been noticed.
Absolutely, and as the time ticks down, locals are going to have to do this in the air. Martez is going to put this one on target. Mecky Ducky is going to clear this off to the side. But the boost totals are running very low. Is this one going to stay up? It is. Vexamed's actually going to keep this up, and it's going to just ping pong around. But nonetheless, it's going to be Black Army taking game one.
And good job on Black Army fighting hard, rattling the cages here early, trying to throw the locals off. It's got to be hard going up against number one, but look at those stats. 5 saves for Black Army, 7 saves for the locals, and 8 shots for Black Army and 6 shots for the locals. So interesting, pretty even stats there, but Vexamed able to break that ice and take game one.
Yeah, I think the locals really started off strong and getting some, maybe not some super potent attacks, but definitely just keeping the ball in the Black Army half, like you mentioned earlier, Corndog. But I think over the course of that game, you started to see Black Army with, one chance, right in the beginning, and then the, locals started to attack, and then now there's maybe some more extended pressure from Black Army, and then back again to local side, and then that last minute really was just all Black Army. And of course, they will get the goal that they need in regulation to take the 1-0 series lead, which I will say might be to a surprise for some people. But given how that game played out, I don't think so. I think Black Army definitely warmed up in that game, and keeping it 0-0 for the entire game is definitely what kept them in that match. Like you said, Corndog, defense.
Defense, exactly. And Killa Zappo and Vexamed both in the Twitch chat at the moment. In between games, they must be pretty laid back. But I'm also being informed that Killa Zappo is Isidore, who I remember that name. So
there we go.
There we go.
Okay, so Isidore. I was wondering if we were going to see Isidore as well, and I wonder if we're going to see like Hugo. I see you in the chat. Hope everything is well there. But yeah, no subs from either team so far as we get into game 2, and I guess if you're Black Army, you want more of the same. The strong defense, limiting locals' chances. But of course, yeah, if you are locals, you want to get the offense flowing. You haven't had a goal yet, of course, especially with a player like Mr. Mechanical Duck. You want him to get on the ball as much as you can. As it's going to be Vexamed again with a beautiful pass from Killa Zappo, Isidore, however you want to say it. And it's going to be an early lead this time for Black Army.
And a great judgment there from Killa to keep that ball directly at Vexamed, who was the scorer in game one. Handles that ball nicely. High skill shot there. Well placed. Early lead here for Black Army. Let's see if the locals are going to get rattled. Oh, demo. Or if they're going to just let the mechanical duck do what it does best. I was going to say, we haven't seen too many flippy, spinny flights from Mecky Ducky these two games.
I think part of it, that too, though, Corn Dog, is he just doesn't have the space and time that, you know, other teams seemingly give him. And so, with that being said, of course, he is a good player nonetheless, but he's even better when he has the time and has the space and has the boost. As we see a flick over from Isidore, is he going to get around this? He is! And Black Army right now proving everybody wrong.
What an impressive solo play there. Vexamed coming in to take that. Killa says, excuse me, sir. I've got this. Flicks it past the defenders and then able to get back to it to tuck it in. Not an easy move. And pulls it off nicely. 2-0 for Black Army here in the first minute of game two. It's looking good for Black Army right here. They're looking well oiled.
Absolutely, which is kind of awkward because I feel like we say that about the locals, and over the course of their season, is Dr. Aquatic's going to put that shot on the crossbar. Now you have a 1v3. Doughboy's going to get that one. I don't know if it was on target. Game doesn't register it as a shot, but it was pretty close. But nonetheless, it's not going to amount for a goal, as Doughboy's going to get another shot. So it takes 3 goals in 2 or 1.5 games for locals to warm up a little bit on the offensive end here. But yeah, they need to wake up fast, of course. This is a best of 5, so you don't want to be going down 2-0 to Black Army and forcing yourself to have to reverse sweep.
Yeah, there's no more pressure than being down 2 in a best of 5 as Vexamed chops that past the defender. Aquatic screaming back to the defense, not able to shut it down. And that's a walk-away goal there for Vexamed. Well done. 2 goals for Vexamed, 1 for Killa, and this is looking real good for Black Army now.
Yeah, what do you do if you're locals? What do you do with your locals? And we'll say this over the course of the stream, I'm sure, as Mecky Ducky's just going to put that off the crossbar. Crossbar right now being one of the main heroes for Black Army on the defensive end, but both teams are in the playoffs. That has been secured. We're really just playing for seeding, and so of course Black Army, as Mechanical Duck, will finally get locals on the score sheet. And truthfully, it's been the one time that Black Army has kind of sat back a little bit.
Yeah, and Martez there maybe thought he had somebody else coming in to challenge that. Didn't turn to challenge it himself. I'm going to chalk that up to miscommunication, but locals putting their first point on the board in game 2 at almost halftime. And maybe that'll be a momentum swing here. Maybe not. But right now, Black Army's looking real strong, and locals need to find holes.
They sure do, but it's going to be Martez. All ran out of boost. Had the open net because the defender jumped, but it's going to go wide in the end as Vexamed's going to play this up. It's going to be a really good save from Dr. Aquatic to get it away from danger in the meantime, as Black Army, once again, just being a menace on the offensive end, not letting locals do what they want. Like I was saying, that both teams are in the playoffs, so there's no worries there, but like I said, it's just for seeding purposes, and this is going to, if this keeps going the way we think it's going, Black Army is going to be in a really, really good spot. I'm not sure how far they can actually jump. I can look into that as we continue game 2, but locals do need some game wins because they do have ECRC, I believe, right behind them, and of course ECRC have yet to play this week, and they play their friendly foes in EC Blue, so that could be interesting. But yeah, I think if ECRC get a win, and I think if locals get swept, I think ECRC take the 1 seed or something like that. I'm gonna fact check myself right now, but yeah, so there's actually big implications for locals in this game, seemingly so.
Oh, I was holding my breath on that play there. Mecky Ducky kicks it across. Kato not able to connect with it, and the ball leaves the attacking zone once again. Vexamed pops that one up to seemingly nobody. Looked like he got a mistouch on that as Kato clears it all the way out. Mecky Ducky back center, and the drop ball, it's a floater. Kato boy brings him back within 1 with a minute to go. Locals looking lively here. Ooh, alliteration.
A little KJ Doughboy, K Doughboy, whatever you want to call him. Yeah, it was a changeup. the defense was expecting a fastball and they came with a changeup and, like you said, a little floater. Brought out the pitch and wedge, and it's going to be a 1-goal game now for Locals, which is super doable now. Just under a minute left, although that's not really the clear you want. Is now that demo's going to kind of open things up, but it's really good for Isidore. Just taking his time. You got 40 seconds to waste, and of course, if you can score again, great. But if not, you don't need one.
Yeah, clock management can be your friend. I would like to see them lock in this 2-game lead here. But hey, sometimes when you sit back, sometimes when you try to stop the shot, you keep that pressure off, and they're able to do things they weren't able to do before. You open up yourself to getting scored on. So in reality, the best defense is a good offense right now for Black Army. Big ball.
Yeah, as the time ticks down, Mechanical Duck's going to get back, but it's on the wrong side of the field. This ball's on the blue half. And as Black Army, all they need is to have this ball touch the ground. It's going to go up in an unfavorable bounce. Isidore's going to, we'll call that a fake. Mecky Ducky's going to play this up. Dr. Aquatic is going to get bumped from behind. Does Vexaman have the boost to get a double? He does. Dr. Aquatic does really well to keep this up, but it is going to die in the end. And Black Army have a 2-0 lead in the series.
Yeah, absolutely great gameplay from Black Army, going up 2 goals early, holding that, extending it to 3, but then the Locals in the last couple minutes bringing it back and showing that they are the number 1 seed, at least a little bit, bringing it back within 1. It's not a big blowout. They need game 3 though, as they're down 2 now, so it's going to be interesting to see. Only 3 saves apiece from each team there. The water's definitely cooled down on the defensive side, but 9 saves for the Locals, 9 shots for the Locals, 7 shots for Black Army. The shots were there, they just simply weren't on net. So it's what do you change here? What do you do? Do you speed up? Do you slow down? Do you get more physical again? There was a little bit more physical going on in game 1, so it'd be interesting to see what they go with. Will there be a substitution? That's a good question.
It looks like there is, Corn Dog. It's going to be Eric Saunders coming in for Isidore for Black Army. So we'll see, of course, how that plays out over the course of next game, at least, if not the rest of the series. But yeah, it looks like what Black Army is doing so much better than Locals right now is connecting on clears. Right now, the Locals, it looks like they're just clearing the ball out just to clear the ball out. Hey, let's reset. And then on the flip side, Black Army's saying, hey, we're going to clear it up, but I have a guy waiting mid. I'm going to clear it over to that side and have that person keep possession and start an attack. And so hopefully Locals can kind of fix that part of their game and as we go into game 3. And as we go into game 3, I did want to shout out I did fact check myself from what I said last game. So Locals are sitting on 33 points. ECRC are right behind them at 31 points. And so Locals do need a game or 2 just to solidify themselves a 1 seed. And we will go over briefly how the seeding and all that stuff works out after our match here. Hopefully not after this game, but of course we'll see if Black Army has any ideas about that. So and then Black Army, of course, are the 3 seed right behind them. So a win would propel them into provisional 2nd place, pending how ECRC does in their match later this week.
Yeah, ECRC has been practicing a little inside baseball here. With their main 3 and with their alternate 3 with Spanky, it's been interesting to see what they're doing. Toad Death, who is a known piece of shit there, he has been on fire. He was brutalizing me earlier today. He had no sympathy for my rank. So it'll be curious to see how they fare against EC coming up. EC versus EC, obviously. But a lot of good possession here from Locals, and it's immediately shut down and cleared out by Martez. And then again, just chopped back in with Martez touching to the side. So no score on the board means nobody's losing right now.
Exactly, but it's that clear that I'm talking about from Mecky Ducky. He just gets a clear on it, and just to get a hit on the ball, and you're not really doing anything. You're not really keeping possession. You're just throwing the ball away, and of course, like right there, you don't have boost, so maybe that's the best play. But when you have boost, can you try and keep the ball? Can you try and spark an attack going? Yeah, I would agree. Locals have looked, somewhat the better side. They've had a few chances that Black Army have turned away, but it's just the defense right now is really the story of the game. Of course, Black Army's offense has, of course, looked really good, but it's really been the defense that's been the MVP.
Yeah, stopping it, shutting it down. And Black Army's offense with that constant pressure, maybe Mecky Ducky's just hitting that pressure relief valve, just allowing them to reset so they don't get scored on. He doesn't care where it goes, but if you throw away an offensive chance to reset your defense, you're going right back on defense anyway. So it's fine when it's 0-0, but it's not fine when you're down by 1.
Exactly. Is this ball's going to now stay in the blue end? Is Doughboy's going to get a big clear? Can he get a follow? He can't. It's going to be... That clear is going to go wide in the end, but once again, Mecky Ducky just not keeping the ball close, and I don't know what's going on with him. It's going to be a really good touch off the side of the post, but once again, like I said, Mecky Ducky just not looking like himself over the course of this series. Of course, he has a really big save that occurred in Game 1, but really that's all I've really seen from him so far, so it's interesting to see this side of Mecky Ducky, which we don't really see very often, is that ball's just gonna float across the goal line, but it's not gonna amount to anything just yet.
Dangerous touch, but well played. The attacker was there to take that shot, so a little bit of strategy to chop that one across from the defensive zone for Black Army. But again, like Local's offense isn't looking up to snuff, and sure it's Mecky Ducky, but the passes are the 1-2 passes aren't happening. The 2-3 passes aren't happening, and we're just sort of seeing throw it at the wall and see what sticks. And maybe they're feeling the pressure from Black Army's offense.
Oh, is that ball just gonna float in? It is. It's gonna be Martez for Black Army. Doughboy was keeping this ball on the side. Actually had a really good touch, but didn't get that follow-up touch. I think the first touch was just, or the second touch rather, was just a little bit too long. And Martez is gonna get another lead for Black Army. So this series really is just not going Local's way by any means. Of course, they had that flurry at the end of Game 2, which brought the game close, but other than that, it really has been just the Black Army show.
Yeah, and they're doing everything right. Ripshark points out in the chat, the 4-5 passes aren't happening. I hadn't even considered those, so good to have a pro like Ripshark in the chat keeping you honest. But, you know, it's all a matter of connecting the dots, which is the whole point. And right now, Black Army has, you know, most of the picture drawn, and the Locals look like they're picking their crayons out still.
Absolutely. And there's 40 seconds left, and oh, we almost see a Rule 1 there. Not fully locked, so we'll allow play to continue. As I think there was a... Oh, it's Mecky Ducky. Is that going to be on target? It is! Finally, Martez turned because he thought, I'm not sure who the second person was. Was it Dr. Aquatic was going to get a shot? Yeah, Martez turned around, allowed Mecky Ducky to get up there. So finally, we see some offense coming out and actually turning into a goal for Locals here in this Game 3. And with 30 seconds left, we'll see if they can build on that, because of course they are down 2-0, so they need this game to stay alive.
Ooh, and that little bit of relief is quickly shut down as Vexamed finds the back of the net here. Dr. Aquatic extending to try to touch that, doesn't make contact, and Vexamed finds the open net. Interesting decision there from both sides, but it worked out in Black Army's favor with 17 to go. It's looking like it's going to take a big deal here from the Locals.
I'm just sitting here shaking my head, Corndog. Is this net is going to be open? Can Dr. Aquatic finish it? He can. I don't know where the defense was. They might have been celebrate. I don't know. As Dr. Aquatic is just hanging out and cherry picking, but honestly, in Rocket League, you're down 2-0 in the series, you're down 2-1 in the game. Who cares? They all count the same.
And 10 seconds after Black Army take the lead, they overextend, double commit on the shot, and the person that passed it was still on the back wall, and wide open net. Aquatic almost chopping it over the top, able to keep it under the bar, and we are gonna go to overtime. Mecky Ducky can't shut it down, and Aquatic can't find the line either.
Locals, maybe they finally woken up. Maybe that first goal that they scored, and that, of course, that second one to tie it up has given them some hope. here in this game as Vexamed is going to go up. Is that going to go in? No, it's going to be wide, but Eric Saunders is going to be there to finish it off. And unbelievably, between the 1 and 3 seeds, we have the 3 seed getting a sweep. Unbelievable.
And I mean, that really goes to show, you know, the power of these teams here in the top 6 moving on to the playoffs. Anybody could win it. Seeding could be the most important thing here. You know, obviously a super good team's going to make it to you at some point anyway, but having that advantage could be important as Black Army bids for second place temporarily at least, but what a great game here. It wasn't blowouts. That's all I asked for. And Black Army takes the series.
I'm really at a loss for words because this is not the locals that we're used to seeing over the course of this, you know, this past season, right? Like that's just a fluke game, right? And I really, really hope so because I just don't know where to start. We're usually seeing Meki Ducky going off the ceiling and getting double taps and just changing the game. And maybe that was Black Army's plan all along was, hey, if we just take Meki Ducky out of this game, they're non-existent, which is just even so weird to say because they do have, you know, great supporting cast and Doughboy, who we talk about all the time on stream. Maybe not the most flashy player, but just knows his role in the third man and the demoer and all that sort of stuff. And of course, you've got a great midfielder and Dr. Aquatic to support both Doughboy and Meki Ducky up front. And so, yeah, Corndog, I'm really at a loss for words.
And it's no surprise. I mean, you're used to seeing Meki Ducky with the flippy smitties, with the flip reset attempts at minimum, and we just weren't seeing that. There was a good amount of pressure from Black Army, and it felt like they had good communication. They were connecting with each other. They were working that ball around. They were finding the holes in the defense, but locals not able to adapt, not able to change their tune, so to speak. And Black Army just sort of ran away with this. I would be curious what happens in a best of 7 here, because locals didn't even score till game 2. And then game 3, they tied it, had it even with 7 seconds to go. It goes to overtime. They had a chance. They had a follow-up chance. And then it goes all the way back the other way, and Black Army just ends the game. So interesting. I'm excited to see these guys play again in the playoffs if they make it that far.
And I think they will. Of course, we have to wait some of the other matches happening this week. I've been informed that the ECRC match, which definitely affects both of these teams, will be played out Sunday night. So we got to wait a very, very long time for that to happen. We're going to have some interviews, and when they are ready to go, we'll get them in here. It's going to be Saikugo of Black Army, who actually didn't appear tonight, but we'll see from the coach's perspective. And then we'll talk to Meki Ducky to see what was going on with them. But just to officially say it now, with the sweep, Black Army does finish with 32 points, tentatively in that second seed. Of course, they do need ECRC to not win a game in their match against EC Blue, which truthfully I don't think is going to happen. I think ECRC at least have one game there, but maybe we'll ask them to politely make it interesting for us on Sunday. We'll see. But then locals are going to finish with 33 points. Of course, still right ahead of Black Army. But yeah, ECRC, the door is now open for that 1 seed, which of course, like I said, will be played Sunday night. So we're gonna bring in Saikugo here from Black Army, who, like I said, we didn't get to see us tonight. Saikugo, how you feeling though after the win?
Yo, what's going on, everybody?
How you feeling after the win tonight? It was a good sweep.
Shoot. Hey, you know, at the end of the day, a win's a win, no matter how we get it. You know, luckily, it was a 3-0 favor in our favor. So we're proud, we're happy, we're having fun.
I just have a quick point of acknowledgement, I guess. I'm not really sure how to phrase it, but you guys Black Army seemed really functional right out of the gate. The defense was solid. Local started with a slight onslaught first half of game one, and then you guys just found the holes, found the moves. Was there a lot of pregame warm up here? Did you all come in cold? Was there a strategy for the locals? Like, how did you feel starting at game one?
You know, all the things you just mentioned, it was all that. We're,
All right,
you know,
nice.
we're not gonna lie. We're not gonna lie. This is a matchup we've been waiting for since like week 3 or 4. This is one that we really wanted to win. This is one we really wanted to play. This is probably the first time we actually watched some VOD and did our research and really just try to like, not necessarily single out, for example, Meki Ducky, but just, you know, look at their play style, look how we can counter it, how we can win, and you know the things we talked about the last couple of days. You know, it paid off and it showed in a 3-0 dub. No disrespect to them, they're a really great team. They're all really, really good players, but we just feel that every other team in the league gave them too much respect, and so we were gonna come and bring the game right to them. We're gonna be fast. We're trying not to give them much time to really think and play with the ball. So that's what we did, and you know, 3-0 fashion. What more do you want, you know?
Awesome.
No.
That's all I really needed. Go ahead, Red Dog.
I was gonna say it looked really good on the field. I mean, I wanted to ask you about Vexamed because he was incredible tonight. Of course, opening the scoring with in game one with that insane double tap, with just from a crazy angle. Is that something that's like normal for you guys? Like, what are the comms like? If you guys are like even in comms, like, is that just like oh cool, he hit another clip, cool, or is you like do the comms get hyped when stuff like that happens?
You know, cool, calm, collected, man. That's what we expect from the kid. That's the MVP. You know, you heard it here. No. We do get hyped. You know, it's still crazy to see. Those are the things. You know, every time Vex gets the ball and he takes it up in the air, we automatically expect him to do some crazy stuff. But you know, that's the game, though. You know, sometimes it doesn't work out, and luckily in our favor, it worked out. You know, a good amount of times this series.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Saikugo, thank you so much for joining us in the booth. I'll leave you to get with your team and celebrate the win. But first, I want to give you the floor for any shoutouts.
No, shout out. You know, this league is amazing, man. We're so happy to just be back. You know, it's been a while. We finally, you know, we have a team that wants to play. We have a team that wants to win. We have a team that gets along. This is something that we really wanted for a while, especially Izzy and I, who competed the last time we were in the league. It was he and I in a team, and this is something we really wanted, and we're just happy. We're happy that we're playing again. We're happy that, you know, we're happy that we got some success on our side, and just to see the league prosper and grow, man. We just can't wait for the future, for some more events, some more fun stuff. I did call an all-star game not too long ago. I don't know who I need to talk to make that happen, but let's do that. I'm trying to see Vex go crazy against the best players in the league. That's MVP again. I see he wants to shout out MVP. Let's go, baby.
Love that. Yeah, no, you guys played an awesome game tonight. Of course, yeah, we're super stoked to have you back in the league. Of course, I'm somewhat new, so I guess this is the first season that we've been in the same league together. But I'm excited you guys have a team, and sounds like you guys are having a great time. So yeah, Saikugo, once again, thank you so much for joining us in the booth, and yeah, go celebrate with the boys.
Guys, I appreciate every one of you guys. Love y'all.
That was Saikugo from Black Army. Yeah, ooh, he's a treat. A lot of respect gained from that interview. I love that. But let's see. Yeah, East versus West All-Star. I like the All-Star game shout. I know there's kind of been murmurs about it just over the course of the season of just doing something like that. Like, even if it's like super informal of just getting a bunch of guys together and just doing that. Of course, we do like to play some open lobbies in the Discord, but yeah, I think that would be really, really cool if we could get that set up at some point. East and Central versus West. No, how about Luis? Stop that. But anyway, we're gonna bring in the other side, unfortunately, Mr. Meki Ducky, to talk about kind of the series from his perspective. We're gonna bring him in here fairly shortly. There he is. Mr. Mechanical Duck, just unfortunate result from you guys. Maybe talk to me just like as a as an overview of what you think kind of went wrong tonight.
Yeah, it's definitely stings because we had that first place in our destiny, of course, but think made us play a little bit nervous. I was definitely feeling the nerves. Teammates were as well, and I think we weren't as effective as we wanted to be with our shooting as a result. You know, and full credit to Black Army. I mean, Vex is insane in the air, and we have a lot of trouble with aerial plays. I mean, the two teams that we lost to this season, I would say have the two best aerial players in the league. So it's what it came down to, I think.
Fair enough. And talk to me a little bit more about you were mentioning the nerves and specifically like just kind of affecting the shooting aspect of your game. And I agree. I think there were a few shots that I was like, man, I don't really think that they would miss that, like given, you know, any other day. I guess, what does that look like in your comms? Like, do you sense the nervousness from your teammates, and or do you maybe portray some nerves, or like how do you guys like try and combat that as a team?
Yeah, I mean, just like specific comms, what ends up happening is like I'll be like, oh shit, like, you know, just like a little bit more scared, but I think that's what ends up happening. And then just like certain shots that I would expect myself to put away, or at least even get on target, I wasn't getting on target. So then that was letting them play defense a lot easier. So it's kind of how it. I want to actually shout out that last second equalizer that Aquatic got. He said he almost passed out.
I mean, the net was wide open. I mean, I would really hope that he would score that, and of course he did. So
That's how nervous we were.
Yeah, it really felt like you guys started off with some good offense, and then when you couldn't get past their defense, it started to slow down. But you were able to bring it back. Game 2, get a couple goals in there, and then Game 3 took it to overtime. And that last chance, man, that's got to be haunting. I would be upset about it, and for that to immediately come back and go Black Army's way, that's got to hurt. But I mean, you guys played a good game. Just, you know, we were expecting a high flying Mecky Ducky, and just didn't turn out that way. So you guys did great. Shake it off and get ready for playoffs. And I don't really have a question. I just wanted to, you know, shout diamond tips at you.
For sure. I mean, just looking as, you know, reflecting on the season, still really happy with the top 2 finish. I think, you know, you asked me at the start of the season, if we end up top 2, I'd be so happy. I'd be extremely happy. So considering the quality in the league. So yeah, so happy with the top 2. Not just copium, but
Look, maybe a little bit of copium, but no, I mean, you guys have played fantastic like throughout the season, and so that's why I think I was thrown off definitely on the broadcast of just like this is not the locals that we're used to seeing. I just remember you guys wiping the floor with us. I think that was like in week 2 or something like that, and just mentally for myself comparing, you know, those two teams, it just looked off tonight. So hopefully, I'm really hoping that you guys can find back that week 2 versus Timbers Army style of play and get that ready for playoffs. But Mikey Duck, do you have anything you wanna say to the people before we let you go?
I don't even know who's in Twitch chat, but
I've got a lot of people in Twitch chat.
Oh shit. Well, thanks for watching. Sorry we couldn't put up a more competitive series, but just on a personal note too, like I'm happy with my performance over the season, just like statistically, to leading a lot of the categories. I don't know if Toe Death might get the golden boot, but hope not. We'll see. But
we will see. We will see as the rest of the matches get played out this week. But Maggie Ducky, thanks again for joining us. Unfortunate result tonight, but get ready to bounce back because you guys got some playoffs here coming up soon. So
yeah, and yeah, thanks so much to you guys for commentating and casting, and also thanks to SGL for organizing the league.
absolutely. Have a good night, Mr. Duck. Appreciate you.
Yeah.
All right, I
What
think
do
from
we
here
got?
we're taking a look at the league tables.
Yeah, I think Maz can pull it up. Can we pull up that league table? Heck yeah. So I also have it up on my screen so I can see. These are the live standings, of course, after this last match has been played. And as we said earlier, as locals, they're still hanging on to that 1 seed with that 1 bonus point there, 33 points. And of course, Black Army getting the sweep gets 4 points to add to their 28 points to sit on 32 there in second place. And of course, ECRC are right behind them with 31. And of course, we'll kind of explain the colors there on the left. The 1 through 6 seeds once again make playoffs. The top 2, why that's so important, is they get a first round bye. And so I'm not sure if we have the playoff bracket as a thing. If not, no worries, but we will bring it up over the course of time as well of how that looks. So the 1 and 2 seeds do get a bye, and so that means that first round is going to be the 3 seed versus the 6 seed, 4 seed versus the 5 seed going up against, and then of course however those matches play out, we'll be playing. That's when we enter in the 1 and 2 seeds. And the only thing right now that is finalized, I know Maz told me to not say this, but I'm gonna say it anyway. Timbers Army is in that 6 seed, because I have to toot my own horn, right? That is the only thing that is confirmed so far. There's gonna be plenty of other movement as the matches get played out this week. So there we go. What do you think, Corn Dog? This is we're getting close to the final standings here. Do you have any thoughts as we look down this list?
Well, yeah. If Emerald City RC takes the sweep here, will that put them into first?
Yes, I think they need to. No, I think they just need to win 2 games because the first tiebreaker is games 1, and so if they win 2 games, it's gonna be really, really close. On games 1, we'll have to do some fact checking a little bit. Maybe, but it basically comes down to if ECRC win the series, they are the 1 seed. That is the most basic math that I can think of at the moment.
Interesting. It's good to see. Look at that. The top 3 within 2 points of each other. Right now ECRC still yet to play, but even if they sweep, they're gonna go to 30. They'd go to 35 points, I guess, if they swept.
Yeah. Well, if they win the series, they go to 35. So, but still, that's still crazy. Top 3 teams separated by 3 points. That's absurd.
Okay. So yeah, it's looking really good there. We're gonna have another season, I'm sure, not too long after this. So nothing's really, over. It's not like any of these teams are probably going anywhere, but we are going to be joined by Smashly of ECRC. Who has, I was going to be mean. Smashly is going to join us here shortly.
Yeah, let's do it. Smashly, friend. You've got some announcements or something important.
Things have happened and changed with that game. I'm shocked.
Yeah, how do you feel? I guess micro interview. How are you feeling? The door's now open for you guys to get the 1 seed.
Yeah, I think this is the first year where the champion isn't determined from the season. It was something that all the teams voted on this year, so it's kind of funny from that end. But it's like in MLS, it's still really cool to win a shield, even if that doesn't mean you get the trophy. But Yeah, we're pretty stoked. So I think we'll probably be the last game of the season for the league, and we're gonna play our game on Sunday night at 7 Pacific. So we'll see what happens with the El Matador game. There's a chance that they bump us and we move down to number 4 before we play. But man, I think Sunday night we're gonna be pretty stoked. Just at the thought of it, and honestly, I hope EC Blue just wipes the floor with us. Like, I think that'd be like completely hilarious. But I hope it's a good like 5-game series for everybody.
Yeah, and if EC Blue wants somebody to Nancy Kerrigan Toad Death's thumbs, I could do it for about $1,000. So
yeah, look. I I don't have anything to say.
Fair enough. But yeah, Smashly. So you're coming in, announcing the game. Is there anything else you wanna say before we?
Well, I'm hoping Corndog can announce the game, but I'll be playing in the game.
Well, that's true.
Yeah, so I'm hoping SGL is able to stream that. I'm assuming yes. I guess I haven't checked the schedule, but I'm hoping that SGL can stream that. And yeah, we're gonna tell pretty much everybody we can think of down here, including the ECS Discord, to tune in, potentially see a Shield be one.
That would be sweet. That would be sweet. All right, big implications for that game. Stay tuned. Sunday night, 7 o'clock. You heard it here first.
Hey guys,
Smashly.
later,
All right,
Smashly.
bye, Smashly. I couldn't hear what he said. I didn't know what I was
He
like,
said he
what
was
is-
out.
Yeah, he said he was. Man. Oh man. All right. Well, briefly, Maz, can we bring up that playoff bracket just to see what it looks like? We don't have to go super crazy in depth about it. If you have something like that, real quick, unless we just want to talk about it, which we can as well. No, I kind of briefly talked about it already, but we don't have to worry about that. Oh, it's almost ready. Okay, no worries. We'll BS until we get there. Cordog, let's kind of recap tonight. I think obviously you see it on screen 3-0, and you're probably looking at, or if maybe you just tuned in or something, you're looking at that going, "Are you serious?" This is crazy. 3-0 Black Army. Cordog, what do you give us the quick match recap of what's going on?
Yeah, I think when we heard from Meki from the locals, he really covered it. They had a little bit of nerves, and then I feel like once Black Army got that advantage, they were playing from behind. Even when we went to the beginning of game 2, they were still playing like they were behind in that game. And you got to at least be able to throw away individual games and play a new game as a new game. We didn't see High Fly and Meki Ducky. We didn't see a crazy amount of good controlled clears, as you pointed out during the gameplay there. And I feel like it just bit them. Black Army was flowing. They were on fire, as we heard from Saikugo. They were studying. They were ready. They were hungry. And they came to take this game, and they were able to take it.
Yeah, I don't think I could have said that any better myself. Black Army frankly, just dominant over the course of the series there. So, of course, congrats to Black Army, and locals will have to regroup before playoffs. Let's jump over now to that playoff bracket and see kind of what it looks like, just kind of at a high level. Of course, like I said, the only thing that is finalized is the 6th seed, and that's, of course, myself, Timbers Army. So, of course, we'll be playing the 3 seed in that number 1 match in that upper left-hand corner. But this is kind of how it works. This is going to be double elim, and it's going to be, of course, like I said, those 3 versus 6, 4 versus 5 to start out, kick things off. And that's why those 1 and 2 seeds are so important, because you don't see them until that winners round 2.
Yeah, and there are a lot of words on the screen. It can be a little overwhelming, but basically double elimination. You got the 3 seed versus the 6 seed, the 4 versus 5, as Rydog pointed out earlier. Then after that bye week, you've got the 1st seed versus the winner of the first one, the 2 seed versus the winner of the 4v5, and it just progresses double elim from there. But it's pretty straightforward, and like I was saying earlier, seeding could be kind of important here for this playoff matchup with how close the teams are.
Yeah, exactly. Because you want that favorable matchup, and of course, like Corndog said, there is a lot of words on there. But just to summarize all of those words, after each series, there's going to be a reseed. So what that means is that the higher seeds, or if I'm the 1 seed, I am guaranteed to play the lowest remaining seed. So if that's, if Timbers Army gets an upset over the 3 seed, I really hope that happens in winners round 1. That means the 1 seed will be playing Timbers Army, aka the 6 seed, because they are the lowest seed that's still available in the tournament. So slightly confusing. It makes more sense as we get into it. Of course, we're not there yet. We've got still some matches left to play this week. I don't know if we have a graphic on that, Maz. If we could switch to the remaining matches on week 11, I can also just read them. I know I'm just putting you totally on the spot, and that's my fault. But let's see, pictures and results. Here we go. We do have them. Thanks, Maz. You're the best. Best stream runner in the game, of course. Yep, we've already had 2 matches played out this week. Of course, kind of 2 of the more I don't want to say important matches, but definitely some of the bigger matches this week. Of course, Timbers Army and Los Verdes happening yesterday, and I'm tooting my own horn and saying that Timbers Army swept Los Verdes and claimed that 6th seed. And then, of course, we do have the match we just played tonight. Corndog, out of those 3 remaining matches, is there one you're kind of circling as, hey, I can't wait to watch that one?
I mean, removing ECRC versus EC Blue, because obviously that one's important. I'm looking forward to KC Cauldron and El Matador. KC Cauldron's had a weird sort of rut this season, and I would argue the same for El Matador. So, not that El Matador's not in the playoffs or anything. Just I would like to see that game. I'd like to see KC Cauldron bring a nice little final fireworks show to the game, maybe cause a little disruption for El Matador. And then Rebellion, the new team this season, facing off against Steel Army. Another, pretty decent game here. I'd expect Rebellion to maybe take that, but that's just personal opinion there. But I if you're twisting my arm, I'm looking forward to that ECRC EC Blue match.
Yeah, absolutely. And of course, all of these games, like I said, have the implications for the seeding, right? Of course, we've already seen it so far this week with Timbers Army confirming that 6th seed, and then of course in this match tonight, Black Army jumping ECRC into that 2nd seed and allowing ECRC to then jump both of those teams for the number 1 seed as a whole. So I don't know. I think, yeah, that ECRC EC Blue match is always fun just because it's the inner EC derby there. I agree with you. The KC Cauldron, I want to see them go off on a high note. Because EM is still playing for seeding right now. They're in 4th place with 27 points. Necessarily, they can't. Even if they win, they would need ECRC to get swept, or not win a game, basically get swept. But then I think ECRC still is ahead of, would still remain in the 3rd seed based off of games 1, I think, if I'm looking at this correctly. So, but of course, Rebellion can still jump them into the 4 seed. So, like I said, lots to play for this week in these remaining matches. And of course, stay tuned in the Discord for when those will be finalized. Of course, we do know when that EC Derby is going to be Sunday night. So, Corndog, let's get ready to wrap this stream up. Do you have any final thoughts as we get ready to conclude the final week of the season?
Just excited to see how close it was, and looking forward to playoffs starting. Obviously, we've got a little bit of road to cover before we get there, but I think playoffs is where it really matters, and I'm ready.
Perfect. Yeah, playoffs are the best time of the year. It doesn't matter what sport you're watching. If it's IRL, if it's Rocket League, if it's League of Legends, it doesn't matter. Playoffs are just the absolute best. But yeah, I want to say thank you all for tuning in and dealing with the tech difficulties that we had at the beginning of the stream and sticking with us through the end. We had a great match for you tonight. Of course, congrats again to Black Army for the 3-0 sweep here. But for Maz behind the scenes, for Corndog with me in the booth, I want to say again, thank you so much for tuning in, and stay tuned to the announcements for more games later this week. And on that note, we will see you next time.